In this video, I'm going to be explaining how to use the free sales suite inside of your HubSpot CRM system. In this video, I'm going to be going over how to use deals, tasks, documents, meetings, and quotes, and I'll be covering each of these extensively. I've also chaptered this video, so you're more than welcome to skip ahead to any part that you need to. Welcome CRM crew, my name is Nick. Before we get started on this quick tutorial, I do have an affiliate link below, and it would be greatly appreciated if you are signing up to HubSpot for the first time to use that link. It really does help me out. So without further ado, let's get straight into this video. So once you log into your HubSpot CRM system, of course, you're going to come to the home screen. Now, of course, we are using, or I'm demonstrating how to use the free sales suite inside of your HubSpot system. So firstly, we want to head over to the sales drop-down menu up the top here. So I'm going to select the drop-down menu, and as you can see, we have got a few options that we're going to be going over. Now, on the right-hand side, there is this little symbol, and that unfortunately is part of the paid version. So I won't be covering that in this video, but what I will be covering is deals, tasks, documents, meetings, and quotes as well. So let's start from the get-go. Let's go with deals, and I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate how to create a deal and then go ahead and also manage your deals as well through the different stages to eventually have that deal as one sold, you've made some money. Okay, so if I press the deals button, and then as you can see here, we are on the deals page. And up the top, we have got two different settings. We've got list view and we've got a Kanban view as well. So bear that in mind as I'm going to come onto that at a later date. But as you can see, we've also got some different views. We've got all deals and my deals as well. And we can add additional views if we would like to. Just press the add view button and you can see my one deals, new deals for this month. And you can create a new view if you would like to. I've done a separate video on that on my channel, so you're more than welcome to have a look at that if you need to. Now, we've also got some other filter criteria down here if you want to filter your different deals by deal owner, create date, last activity date, the amount that the deal is worth. So if you want to see only deals that are equal to or greater than, let's say £10,000, then you can go ahead and put that in and you can search that accordingly. So if I say equal to or greater than 10,000, then you can go ahead and search that. So these are all the different filters. You could obviously got the other filter options here as well. If you press the more filters button, you can see on the right hand side you've got the more filters options here. But moving on from filters, we obviously want to create our deal. So in order to do so, we need to press the create deal button up in the top right hand corner here. And this is where we need to go ahead and enter in some relevant information about our deal. So firstly, we need to give our deal a name. So I'm going to call this CRM Crew Deal. Now, I recommend having like a uniform structure for all of your deals when you're creating them. So it's always really, really easy to find the deal that you're looking for. Further on from there, we have our pipeline. So unfortunately, in the free version, we only have one pipeline. If you have the paid version, you can create multiple pipelines, which is really, really useful if you're selling different products and you need a specific pipeline for each product perhaps, or it's just different ways you'd like to sell. So the pipeline we want is automatically selected, or the only option in this instance. And then we can select the deal stage. So we've got qualified to buy and all of the other stages. Apologies, that was me doing an example video before, which is my test stage. But as you can see, you've got all the different stages and you can jump ahead to any stage when you're creating a deal if you need to. I recommend obviously getting the deal in from the get-go, qualified to buy, and that's when you're adding the deal. But if you've maybe missed a couple of weeks or things have happened very quickly before you got a chance to add the deal to the pipeline, then you can go ahead and jump if you need to. Now we need to put the amount of the deal, so I'm just going to put 10,000 as an example today. We've got our close dates. When do you anticipate the date of this sale, or when do you anticipate the sale being finished? So I've just put it as January 31st. That's automatically selected from me, but you can select whichever you'd like. This also helps with your sales forecasting. The deal owner automatically sets yourself, but you can assign someone else if you'd like to. If you've got the deal type, new business or existing business, and we've got priority, low, medium or high. So is this high priority sale or a low priority sale? I'm not entirely sure how you go ahead and distinguish between those. I think every sale should be high priority, but I'm sure there may be some good examples or some instances where this might be applicable. I'm going to select hi because like I just said, and then from here we can go ahead and associate our deal. Now this is really important. We want to associate our deal with a company and obviously a contact as well. So if you press search companies, I'm going to search CRM crew, which I believe already exists in this HubSpot system, which it does, as you can see. I can select whether I'd like to add timeline activity from CRM crew to this deal. That's up to you. That drags information across. I'll probably recommend not doing so, but if you may find it useful, you can do. And we've also got contact as well. So I'm going to go ahead and search myself, Nick Boardman. So as you can see, I've now added the company and the contact associated with this deal. And then you can go ahead and add products as well if you would like to. But I'm not going to go into that in this video. So once we're happy, we go ahead and press the create button. And now we've gone ahead and added that sale or that deal to our HubSpot CRM system. And as you can see, it's now been created. And this is where we can go ahead and manage our deals. Apologies, it seems to be very slow and loading today. So managing our deals is easy. We can associate notes, emails, calls, log a call, a meeting, an email. We can create tasks. We can also schedule a meeting as well. And we've also got all the activities here, or we can specify on the notes, the emails, the calls, the tasks, and the meetings up the top here as well if you just want to see specific things. And then on the right hand side we have some additional information as well, which is obviously very, very useful and makes managing our deals easy. So this is our £10,000 deal. So our deal as it stands currently is in the qualified to buy stage, and you can go ahead and move them along the different stages like so. But I'm going to demonstrate a preferable way, or the way I prefer to manage my deals in the HubSpot CRM system. So if you click back out and go to the HubSpot main page like we were on earlier, and you can see all of the deals. This is the deal, and as the list grows, you'll just have a number of lists, the deal stage, when it's expected to close, the owner, the amount, and a few additional pieces of information. And like I spoke about earlier, this is where you can go ahead and filter these as well. What we want to do is manage our deals in an effective manner. So in order to do so, go up the top here like I spoke about, and press this button on the right hand side, and this is where we can go ahead and drag our deals from one stage to another very, very easily, very, very effective. It's quick to do. You don't have to go in and click for each particular record. You can just drag it and drop it across. It makes it so much easier to manage. And obviously when you've got a lot of deals, you don't want to be going into each record, updating the sales stage and then coming back out again. So this is the best way of going about doing so. Now finally, what I want to come on to on the deals area is obviously closing the sale as either won or lost. So in order to do so, you can go onto the record itself, or like I recommend doing here, just dragging it to that relevant stage. So let's say we've gone ahead and we have won this deal. If you drag it and then drop it to the closed won area, it will then be managed as closed won, and again that is the same for closed loss. So now you can see this deal has been closed as won, and it's really just as simple as that to manage your deals, manage what's going on, getting them in the different stages, and once they're in the closed won area, that is job done. Or unfortunately, if you do not win the sale, you move it to the closed loss as I just demonstrated, and it's really, really easy to do and manage your sales, manage each of the different stages as well. So hopefully that's given you a clear insight into how to use your deals inside of HubSpot CRM. Moving on from here, if we go to our sales drop down, we also have tasks, and tasks are exactly what they say on the tin. Tasks are really easy to use, obviously very, very useful. So up the top here, we've got all our tasks, and we've got the various different queues is what they're called. So upcoming, overdue, due today. Again, that was a test example I've done in another video. Got most engaged, and we got completed tasks as well. So something I'm sure you're all familiar with if you use any sort of tasks or task management software. This is where you can go ahead and look at all the different views. We can also on the right hand side see insights, so calls connected this week, meetings completed this week. We get some information. We also get a feed as well, so an activity feed, so whatever is going on, we just see a feed of information, and also a schedule. So if you've got your calendar connected to HubSpot CRM, which I strongly recommend you do, and I've done a video on how to do that, so feel free to check that out on my channel if you'd like to, then you will see all your tasks on your calendar. It makes things even easier to manage. Make sure you're not forgetting anything either. So in order to create a task, just press the create task button, and this will then give you the option to fill out relevant information about the task. So let's say phone call Nick just as an example task. So then we can select the type. So we've got call, to do, and email. So those are 3 task types. So I'll leave it as call, and then you can select the priority as either none or high. And then you can associate it with records as well if you would like to. So obviously it's a phone call with myself. So I'm going to search myself and then directly associate that contact record with the person, obviously the task. So that's who I'm having a phone call with. This has been assigned automatically to myself, but you can select it as no owner if you want to. And then with the queues, you can add it to a test queue if you've created one, and this might be just a means of managing things differently. So as you can see, or you can go ahead and create a new queue. But again, I've done a video on that, so feel free to check that out if you would like to. And then we've got our due date, so in a week, or we can select the specific day. So we get these different options, 1 week, 2 weeks, a month, or we can just select a custom date and then select that, which I imagine is going to be easiest. And then also the time as well. And you are also able to repeat it if you would like to. So let's say you have a weekly sales meeting or a weekly phone call, whatever it may be. And finally, we've got task reminders, so 30 minutes before, an hour before, and also some notes that you may want in association with this particular activity or this task. And once you're happy with all of that, just press the create button, and this will then go ahead and create a new task, who it's associated with. If it was associated with a company as well, we could do that. And then we can go ahead and manage our tasks. We know when it's due. And once we've completed it, we just click onto that particular task. So once you've clicked that link or click the particular task, it takes you to the record it's associated with. And this is where you can either complete it, reschedule it. You can also exit out as well, because it's a phone call. It can just happen and you don't need to do it. So let's say we've completed it early. We can click that, and then we'll just press the back to tasks button, and this will take us back to the tasks page. And as you see, I'm all caught up on my tasks, but if I go to my completed tasks, you can see that has now been done, and it gives me the status as well. So the tasks, obviously a good feature, very, very easy to use. Moving on from there, we also have our documents. Now documents is really simple. This will take 2 seconds to go over. It's literally adding documents to your HubSpot system. In the free version, as you can see, we're in the free version, like I mentioned earlier. We only get to add 5 documents. So I question the worthiness or the usefulness of this particular piece inside of the sales suite or the free sales suite. But there may be instances that you can think of to do that or use it. So you can create new folders. So adding a new folder, just press the new folder button, give the folder a name. So I'm just going to call this example folder. Press create folder there, and that has now been created. And then if we go into the example folder, or you don't necessarily have to have a folder, you can just press the upload document button up the top right hand corner here, and then we can upload directly from your computer a file existing in HubSpot already, or you can log into Dropbox, Google Drive, or Box, and then directly associate that document on one of these 3 platforms, and then that will automatically be uploaded onto your HubSpot system. I don't need to go into this. It's so simple. If I were to select Google Drive, it would take me to sign in to Google and then directly associate my Google, and I had to agree to the terms and conditions. Once I've done that, then I can select the document, and that would be it. Job done. Again, same for Dropbox and Box as well. And then the existing file inside of HubSpot CRM, if you've already got one on a contact, for example, or a company, then you can associate from there. Now, moving on from documents, we have our meetings. Now, meetings is a very, very clever tool. Let me go ahead and demonstrate what it does first, and then I'm going to backtrack and explain how to set it up. So what meetings does is allows us to book a meeting with someone without the need for back and forth emails to find the best time for them, a time that suits you. Okay, so what you do is you share a link with someone, and this is the link that I've just selected that you would share, and this works solely on your calendar and also some preferences that you can set up. And this will only show them times that are suitable to you based on your calendar. And then once they see a time that suits them, and obviously also works for you because it's available to them, then they can select it, and then they need to enter some relevant information, first name, last name, and email address, and then they go ahead and book that meeting with you. And no emails are needed. You get a confirmation email once it's all set up, and it's really, really easy. It works alongside your calendar, and that's why I definitely recommend setting up your calendar with HubSpot CRM, so you can really get the value from this. And like I said, really, really simple. So I'll exit out that, and I'm going to demonstrate how to use it. So you can create a scheduling page up in the top right hand corner, but as you can only have one in the free version, I'm just going to select the one that I've already created and press the edit button. and I'll walk you through each of these. So this is the internal name, what you give it. So you want to create a relevant name just internally, so 60-minute, 30-minute and 15-minute meeting. That works for me. And then here we get the title, so the contact first name, last name and company name is the title given to this particular meeting. We can select the location, or we can add a video conference link and connect an app, for example Zoom or Microsoft Teams if you're familiar with those. I'm sure you are. Or we can select a location if it's a physical meeting, and we can also add a description. So this is what they're going to see as well. So the description would be anything in relation to the meeting that they're creating. We can also cancel and reschedule, so include cancel and reschedule links in the event description. That is very, very useful and makes things even easier. So I would recommend having that on. That's, as you can see, a new feature that's just been added by HubSpot. So thank you for that, HubSpot. I'll leave that on. Moving on from there, we go to the scheduling page, and this is where we set up the schedule. So this is the title, as you saw earlier. The duration options, so this is the amount of time they can book a meeting with you for. So we've got 15-minute and 30-minute set up. As you can see, we've got some different options, and you can add a custom duration. So let's say you only want them to be able to book a 30-minute meeting with you. No one wants to be in a 2-hour meeting. So that is totally possible. And this also is your time zone. Okay, so the time zone that you're based in, this is where how they would be booking it, but they'll see their times as well. Now from here we've got our availability window. So if you don't recall earlier when I showed you the link, we only had Tuesdays and Thursdays available, but you can add additional days. I just selected Tuesdays and Thursdays. They can only book from 9 until 5 on those 2 days, and despite that, even if I was blocked out completely on Thursday, they wouldn't have any options on Thursday. So that would leave only Tuesday as a booking option for them. So you can see how that would now work, and you can add additional hours as well. Now, we've also got some additional settings, so we can select some image avatars. We can, when a meeting can be scheduled over a period of rolling weeks, set a period of rolling weeks, a custom date range people can book in your calendar, so they are only able to book this week and next week, or you can change that 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 10 weeks. You don't want like someone to book a random meeting 3 or 4 months in advance, so I can't imagine you would want to anyway. We've also got a buffer time, start time increment in 15 minutes. If you want, you can have it as little as a meeting duration, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, so that's up to you. So we've got booking page language, so use their browser settings, and we've got date format as well, so again browser settings as well. So you can see all this. So we've also got the form, and that was the first name, last name and email. We're unable to add anything additional because this is the free version, but we can add capture, which is spam prevention, and a privacy and consent GDPR form as well, and we can customize that if we'd like to. And we've also just got some additional settings with pre-populate fields with known values and auto submit form when all fields are pre-populated. So you've got a couple options there as well. And then finally we've got automation, so get a confirmation email and a pre-meeting reminder as well if you'd like to. And you can send a test email just to check that everything is working, and that is my email there. So this is a useful tool and saves so much time. So I'd recommend taking advantage of what HubSpot has provided here. So I press the save button, and now that is all set up, and we just need to share this link with them, or we can just press the copy link button. You might want to add this to your email address, so it allows, or your email signature, so it allows anyone to book a meeting, or just share it with relevant people you want to have a meeting with. It's up to you, but it is very, very useful. Now go to the drop down menu again, and finally we have our quotes. So this is where we can go ahead and create quotes for our deals. So I'm going to walk you through how to do that. As you can see here, I've not created any quotes yet. So in order to do so, press the create quote button up the top right hand corner, and I'll walk you through the different stages. Now firstly, we have to associate a quote with a deal. So choose or create a deal. You can create a deal from the off, but obviously we created the deal earlier, so I'm going to associate this particular quote with that deal. Press the next button, and then we can select a standard template, so whichever one you want. Quote name, again, give it a uniform name that you will always remember, possibly even add a unique ID to each of these quotes just to make your life even easier. We can select the expiration date, 30, 60, 90 days, or whatever your business does. We can add comments to the buyer, and we can add purchase items as well. Moving on from there, we can go ahead and press the next button. This is automatically assigned the person, the contact and the company, because that is who is associated with the deal that we created earlier. But you may not have all of that information, so you can go ahead, add another contact, associate as you so wish. And then moving on from there, as you can see, we're checking the information, no company name. And then from here, this is where we can go ahead and add our products. So you can create a custom line. You can't use the product library, unfortunately, because that is part of the paid version. But if we give our product our new line item and name, so they're just making it a little bit more complicated. Essentially, we're creating a product that just never saves. So I'm going to call this example product. I'll give it a SKU 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A description, example product. If we have an image, we can add an image URL. If we've got a URL, we can do as well. Add a unit price, let's say 10, and recurring billing, one time, quarterly, semi-annually, monthly, whatever. Unit costs, let's say 5, and then obviously it sets our margin as $5 automatically, and then we can select a term as well in months. So let's say it's a monthly of £10, and then I'm going to select a term of 24 months, so whatever that works out to be, £240. Press the save button. So that's now added that example product to our quote, and we can go ahead and add additional ones as well if we would like to. Once we're happy with that, as you can see, it's £10 a month, and we're going to send over that quote. Press the next button. We can add some signature options. No signature includes signature space for written signature, but we can't use an e-signature, again part of the paid version. And then finally, I'll just select no signature, and once I'm happy with that, press the create quote button. I've now created the quote, and it's associated with that particular deal. I can go ahead and copy this particular link and then send the link to the person that we've created the quote for, and they can go and have a look at the quote. Or we can just write email with quote attached, which I believe is going to definitely be the easiest, and then send that over to them, and then they can look at the quote, get back to you, decide whether they want to go ahead with the deal, whether they want to negotiate prices, etc. And then hopefully you close the deal as one, like we discussed earlier. So that is everything inside of the free version of the sales suite of HubSpot CRM. Hopefully this video has been of some use to you, and I'll see you shortly in a moment's time. Hopefully you're now all set to get the most out of the free sales suite inside of your HubSpot CRM system. If you have enjoyed this video or it's been at all helpful, please consider giving it a like, possibly even subscribing. If you do have any questions at all, you're more than welcome to either drop a comment below, or you can email me. My details are in the description below, and I'll do my absolute best to answer any questions you do have. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll see you shortly, hopefully in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.